Aha. Well, hello. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And today, because I've had some stability issues with my laptop, so I'm going to be looking at buying a new laptop tomorrow. I am doing the show from my phone, yeah, because so I've had to kind of reduce a little bit. I had to go to 750 DPI rather than 1080. But there's been some recent things with StreamYard where it's been kind of cutting out a little bit. They've kind of changed the settings somewhere, but I don't know. Because it's a live show, I want everything to be smooth. So I'm doing this from my telephone or using my cell phone just to be sure that it's all good. So, right. So, my goodness, guys, where to begin? Where to begin? Saying his sound is spotty. Can you hear me okay? Oh, someone's saying, oh, it's not smooth at all. Ah, I'm being told it's glitchy. All right, let me move over. What the hell is going on? All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move over. Let me enter studio on the other one, and you're gonna hear a bit of sound is crackling. All right, okay. All right. Un momento. Let's do, how do I, up, 1 minute. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enter and I'm gonna swap to my other computer, yeah? Yes. Right. Okay. Is this better? Can you hear me? Is this better? Sound is better. All right. Forget that experiment then. Anyway, I'm getting a new computer tomorrow. Something is going on. Maybe it's my energy, or maybe it's because, I don't know, there are entities out there that don't want me to talk, but you have noticed recently there's been like issues, yeah? But anyway, holding on to my obsidian here, you're all saying that the sound is good. Great. Let's crack on. It is hard to know where to begin, isn't it, folks? Hard to know where to begin. We are in, like I said, astonishing times. I just want to say something now before I forget it while it's still there on the top of my head. Even to put this in perspective, even North Korea has even called out Trump's plans for Gaza. Can you believe it? North Korea, which is well known as having one of the harshest dictatorships on the planet, has even called out Donald Trump with his plans for Gaza. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and then oops. And then here, Angela's saying it's the energy all over the world. Yeah, I think yes. And Sherry's saying, I think they don't want you to talk. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. And do you remember when, here, I've got my obsidian here. Do you remember when I did the reading last week and somebody asked, are they using astrology and stuff like that? Yes, they are. And you know what? They're watching channels. Watching my channels, they're watching everyone's channels. Yeah, not just me, of course, everyone. Right. So I have your questions here, and I'm going to try and read as many of them out as I can. This show will probably have to be a little bit longer. We'll have to see, because I made copious notes about the energies and what we're experiencing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read you through this stuff. I'm not going to do any share screen stuff because I don't know, it might just be a little bit too choppy, and I want everyone to have a nice smooth sound. Yeah, get myself a new pardon me, get myself a new laptop, and then hopefully things will improve from there. Tried it with the phone, which is normally very smooth, and it wasn't having it. Yeah, anyway, so this Thursday fry-up, of course, is a special because I'm talking about the energies. Yeah, I'm talking about the energies. Part of me wants to show you the charts, but then I don't want things to slow down and get too choppy either. Yeah, I can always do a follow-up video or something like that if you guys want me to show you the charts. But as you know, I've talked about the charts a lot. So the important thing to understand is the transits of Uranus. Yeah, transits of Uranus. In fact, I am going to have to show you this. The transits of Uranus over the star Algol. Yeah, now you guys will remember this. We're also going to be looking at the Great Awakening, which I'm also calling the Great Awakening / Rude Awakening, because this is what this is. Where it falls in the USA chart, which you know it's in the 4th house. Where it falls in Trump's chart, I'll be talking about that. Where it falls in Elon's chart. I'll also be talking about the dominant energies at play, and also as well in that Oval Office press conference, which was just one of the weirdest, most bonkers, crazy things we've seen. And we also need to talk about Elon's son, X, where Elon's son said the quiet part out loud. Yeah, for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, I've got to caveat that. So let's put this into perspective. So I am gonna have to show you a chart. Hopefully it won't be too choppy. Forgive me if it is. Getting a new computer, hopefully this will smooth this stuff out. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of energetic, almost kind of attack things going on here, because obviously this is sharing truthful stuff. So I'm going to talk about Uranus, the role of Uranus, how it's affecting so much of what we see, what's going on. We also need to remember, as you've heard me say before, America is in its Pluto return. Yeah, it's Pluto return, which happens every 248 years. That return became exact in February 2024. So what it means is Pluto has now crossed over itself, and now the full energetic manifestations of that are beginning, are underway. The true first awakenings of the Pluto return. So what is a return? It is to do with the orbits around the sun, yeah, or in your chart. So we have a solar return every year, don't we? It's called our birthday. Yeah, we all understand that. Many of you, of course, will also know about the Saturn return, which happens like every 29 years. Yeah. So when we're 28, 29, 30, we get the Saturn return. And this is when childhood begins to end. We need to start growing up. We start to ask ourselves existential questions. What am I doing with my life? Am I going to settle down? Am I going to get married? Am I going to have a career, house, etc.? These are the 30-something questions that we all get. And then we get it again in our late 50s, early 60s. And then if we're lucky, we get a third one in our 90s. And by that time, we're ready to leave Earth. Yeah. What my personal belief is, astrologically looking at things, I believe the Pluto return is the same equivalent of the Saturn return on the human level, but on the macro level for countries. Yeah, macro level for countries. And whenever a planet returns, whatever it symbolizes, whatever it represents in the chart, that is what that country is going to have to deal with. Yeah, everything in from the previous cycle. So we're talking about the culmination of 250 years of history, of American history, since its inception, from that July 4th 1776 6:30 p.m. Philadelphia inauguration chart that all us Vedic astrologers use. Yeah, on 4th of July 2026, America will be exactly 250 years old. This is hugely significant. For everyone on planet Earth, this is the first time in any of our generations here on Earth right now that we are seeing a Pluto return happen in a country, because they have to be around 250 years old. Now, there may be countries that are at the similar date time as the United States, but there's none that I can think of right at the moment on top of my head. But of course, the United States is the big one, and we are all seeing what this energy is about, this Pluto in Capricorn energy, which is, Pluto deals with what? Plutocracy, oligarchs, power moves, yeah? All kinds of corruption, the darker side of humanity. How's things holding up here? It still seems a little bit, yeah, still seems a little bit, you know, a bit of interference going on. Anyway, get the new computer and let's see what happens. Pluto is where we get the name plutocracy from. It's another name for oligarchy, yeah, or your robber barons. Capricorn is what? The sign of government, yeah, the sign of government. This is where we're seeing what? The corruption, the plutocracy, everything is happening in front of our eyes. This is, of course, happening all around the world, but for America, it's especially acute because it's happening, because it's the first Pluto return. Also, as well, what we need to talk about is something called Sadi Sati. I've not said this enough. This is when Saturn is one sign away from the moon, with the moon, and one sign after. Yeah, and it's referred to as 7 years of trials. At the moment, Saturn is in sidereal Aquarius, about to leave on March 29th, where I'm talking about this great awakening. Yeah. But guess where America's moon is? America's moon is also in Aquarius. So what I'm going to do is, let's get up the USA's chart. Yeah, the USA's chart. Now we know the Constitution came in a bit later. Yeah, etc. It came and all of that stuff that came later. And I've addressed that in another video. Also, as well, if you guys haven't had the chance, please check out as well my video where I've started the new oligarchy series, and I've done a deep dive on Elon Musk, his chart, overlaid it with Donald Trump's chart. Oh my God, literally the two are pretty much like soulmates. You wouldn't believe this. And the financial effect that Elon is going to have on the USA chart. So a lot of the stuff that I said, this was Monday just gone, is already coming true. Anyway, it's just like, oh my God. So let me just do present, and I'm going to get some charts up, talk about specific things, and then I'm going to move on to your questions. Yeah. And then, but also as well, we're going to be talking about this star Algol, and you can see why I'm talking about it, and I'll refer to my notes, etc. And then I'll do your questions. So bear with me. Yeah. Let's do the share, because if I'm just talking about it, it's too abstract, isn't it? So let's do share screen. Oh my goodness. And please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video to support my work doing on this channel. Thanks so much as well for everyone joining me, and thank you for all the support. Right, let's do entire screen, and let's do that. Let's do share. Hopefully things will comply. Come on. Jesus. All right. Should be working.
There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of, I think a lot of it is this energy as well. Just a lot of this energy around. I think there's a lot of people interfering, as it were, with people like me doing this kind of work. All right. So you should be able to see this screen here. Let me just do 1 second. Let's do, just give a shout out to my clients as well today. Who did I have today? I like to do a little shout out on Thursdays because it's obviously a client day. So Nadia, you know who you are. Karen, you know who you are. And Rosa. Yeah, Rosa. Incredible stuff we were doing today. Just incredible stuff. So forgive me, computer's taking quite a while here, but let's just scroll down here because I have to show you the charts and then I'm going to get straight into your questions. Yeah. Come on, baby. See how it works with the new computer. What's going on here? Oh, actually, is that it? Yes. Let's go here. 1 second. Just open. I think that's the one I actually want. And then I'm going to get for you, yes, I'm going to get for you the USA chart because this is so relevant here. Our Declaration of Independence. Open. And then I can start the analysis. All right. Gosh, this really is taking a while. Just want to make sure I can see myself. Yeah, okay, so I'm here. You can still see me. Perfect. Let's pull this down here. All right, so what is going on? Yeah, what is going on? Here is the USA Declaration of Independence chart, which you heard me talk about before. America is a Sagittarius rising. This is disputed, of course, depending on the astrologer. But for me, this works perfectly. And many of us Vedic astrologers use this. Now, what this means is it means the Great Awakening that I've been talking about is happening in the 4th house. I think I talked about this last week. Let me just put here. I'm going to put here, just so you guys can see if you're the first time seeing my channel. Obviously, many of you who are regular viewers have heard me talk about this literally for years. And well, maybe not. Well, a long time. A good few months. Let's put it that way. Let's do calculate. Right. So what we see down here, this is what I'm referring to as the Great Awakening, or it can also be the Rude Awakening. Why am I calling it that? The reason why is because there's an 8 planetary lineup here, 8 planets. Yeah. And this is very, very significant when you include Chiron. Yeah, this is 8. And this is extremely impactful because this is all happening in the sign of Pisces. And for the USA chart, that is happening in the 4th house. The 4th house deals with what? The homeland, security, the states of America. It also deals with real estate. Yeah, we saw, remember I said this energy will be building. We saw LA, a lot of LA burned down in huge fires. Now we're actually seeing the DOJ basically prosecute New York. I mean, it is, I have to stay calm because otherwise it affects my computer. We know my emotions are very strong and the energy gets very strong. So I'm trying to stay calm. But this is, it's beyond outrageous. Yeah, beyond outrageous. Saturn will be here. Rahu will be here. Venus will be here retrograde. Venus also deals with money and the economy. All kinds of services, luxuries in life, and she's going to be retrograde, yeah, which means it's like it's going out the window. Neptune will be here. Mercury will be here as well, also retrograde. We all know what Mercury retrogrades are like. Mercury literally deals with things to do with the economy as well. Money, liquidity, accountancy, our cash in our pocket. What's even worse is that Mercury is considered debilitated in the sign of Pisces. Then we have the sun here and the moon coming together in a partial eclipse. Eclipses deal with CEOs, leaders, and all of this kind of stuff. And here we also have Chiron, which is part of this. But look, Chiron was in Pisces in the original USA chart. So America is also having a Chiron return on top of the Pluto return, and it's even going to be having a Uranus return as well, all at the same time. Why? Because Uranus is going to soon return to sidereal Taurus, where he was on the 1st of June 2024, stayed there for a while. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? In the USA chart, Uranus is at 18 degrees and 11 minutes. On the 29th of March, coming up, not long, Uranus will be at 0 degrees 27 minutes. And you might be thinking, well, big whoop, you know, it's quite far away from Uranus. But for a return to begin, a planet only has to be in the same sign, not necessarily the exact same degree. So to give you an example, the Pluto return officially began on the 1st of January 2021. That's when Pluto moved into sidereal Capricorn. We all know what happened 5 days later. We had January the 6th. So that was the announcement of Pluto in Capricorn, which we've seen the full culmination of this now. They sacked the Capitol, and of course, you know, everything that's happened, Trump's got back in and they've been pardoned. Yeah. So what it means is on or around the 29th of March, 2025, this year, when Uranus comes back, he's actually going to spend 7 years in the sign of Uranus, which means that the USA's Uranus return will come back as well. And remember what I said, whenever a planet returns to its original place in the chart, whatever it represents, what all has happened and gone before has to be reviewed and revised again. The last time Uranus was here in sidereal Taurus was about 84 years ago. Yeah, so think about that, what was going on in the world at that time. My God, you can't make this stuff up. So what America is also experiencing is something called Sadi Sati, which means 7 years of trials, which I was talking about. And it's when Saturn is one sign from the moon, with the moon, and beyond. Yeah, so if we see here is moon in sidereal Aquarius. That's where it actually sits in the USA chart. So if I go back here and I click on today or now, you'll see Saturn is at 24 degrees and 40 minutes of sidereal Aquarius with the moon of the USA chart. The moon deals with the mind, the emotions, the people, the collective. The moon is how we get our needs met. But Saturn and the moon are enemies, bitter enemies. Saturn is the planet of what? Restriction, hard work, graft, hardship. The American people are feeling hardship now. Yeah, they were feeling hardship before, but now it's even worse. But what they're getting is, everyone is getting what? This reality check. On the 29th of March, when Saturn joins this big stellium here in sidereal Pisces, do you remember I was warning, I said some great illusion will be destroyed. Yeah. Think of what Elon and Musk are all doing with their rampaging. A lot of the people that voted for Trump, yeah, the MAGA crowd and the Trump and the MAGA aligned, what's happening? They're having to start to wake up now. Has the price of eggs and all that stuff gone down? It was an important thing to talk about, of course, with inflation and stuff like that. Duck L'Orange promised that he would bring all of that stuff down, remember? Now the price of eggs is skyrocketing and inflation is zooming up. He's imposed all of these tariffs and all. It's just madness. Absolute bedlam. And one of the things I've been worried about when Saturn joins this, Saturn is rules, regulations, government, but Pisces is the sign of dissolving, things breaking down, the rules not being observed, because Pisces is a wonderful sign, but it's not really a sign of following the rules. Yeah. It's a sign of things dissolving. Saturn is the planet of order, structure, rules, regulations. He was extremely powerful in sidereal Capricorn, which he went into in January 2020. We all had what? Lockdown. Yeah, Saturn was extremely powerful. Too powerful, one could say. When he moved into sidereal Aquarius, we were doing all the things with the AI. Yeah, AI. Now we've got ChatGPT. China's come out with DeepSeek. All of that stuff, because Aquarius deals with technology, aliens, outer space, all of this stuff, crypto, all of that. Soon, Saturn will be moving into Pisces, where things are dissolving, but it also means a dream, some kind of dream or illusion will be coming to an end, because Saturn is the planet of reality. I call him balloon popper. Yeah, pop, pop, pop. So I think what is ending is the illusion that a lot of people were under when it came to Duck L'Orange and many other things. This is the homeland. It means people's security is going to be affected. They're talking about literally cutting what? Medicaid and all of this stuff. But let me just get through my notes, because I'm freestyling and I'm wanting to stay focused, and I want to answer your questions. Yeah, let me just see how I'm doing on time. All right. Okay, so we're almost half hour in. Let me just move this back over here. Right. Okay. The Rude Awakening. Oh, also as well, I've got to talk about the Dark Crystal. Guys, if you've not seen this, watch the Netflix series called The Dark Crystal. In it, it talks about this elite group called the Skeksis, which are crossed between birds and reptiles. Yeah. They're obsessed. They're malignant narcissists, and they're obsessed with living forever. And they figure out that they can live forever by draining the Gelfling. Yeah, the 7 tribes of the Gelfling, who are the sweet, good innocents, who see these elites as their lords. But the lords start draining them, draining their essence, and they use the Dark Crystal to do it. Too long to explain. Jim Henson, absolutely fabulous. If any of you have seen the Dark Crystal, or the original movie, I think from 1983, something like that. Let me just, oh gosh, my phone is blowing up. My phone's blowing up. Let me just put it on, let me just put this on airplane mode. So if any of you seen the Dark Crystal, fabulous film. Netflix did a series, I think it was 2023 or 2024, called The Dark Crystal, the Resistance. Watch that. If you want to know exactly what the energy is of the GOP and the billionaire elite, it's the Skeksis. Yeah, you heard that here first. Watch it. I'll put a link. I've finished the series today. Fabulous. And it's all done with puppets, by the way. Anyway, right. Focus. The Great Awakening is happening in the 4th house, like I said, of the USA chart. It deals with the homeland, security, real estate, and family, and America's seat of power. Everyone's being deported, yeah? Families affected. People are going to be put in Guantanamo Bay, some even in El Salvador. And it's only because of the judge's ruling that the people from Venezuela, unfortunately, some of them were Venezuelans for Trump, he wanted to sell them back to Maduro, who's going to put them in, do goodness knows what with them. Yeah. Anyway, it also deals with the seat of power. So it means the seat of power of America is being affected, which we're seeing with Duck L'Orange, with all of his spewing out. Canada's got mass. They don't want to buy American goods. You guys know all of this. I don't want to repeat myself. You've all seen for yourself, but I'm just showing you the energy. So yes, mass deportations affecting families, etc. This big thing, this Great Awakening, is happening in Trump's 8th house. So the 8th house deals with other people's money. Remember how I made off billions with that, with the meme coin, because 8th house also deals with stock market investment, stuff like that. So he did a giant grift with his meme coin that netted him billions just before the inauguration. But the 8th house is also transformation, scandals, the occult, addictions, death, and disgrace. Yeah, he is shaming and disgracing all of America right now. Yeah, but what is even more important is that, like I said, North Korea has denounced Trump's plans. Can you believe it? North Korea, of all places. And Elon Musk's son, who's called X, and I saw the recording for myself now. He said, I want you to shush. No, he said, you are not the president. You need to go away. I want you to shush your mouth. Wow. The child saying the quiet part out loud. Yeah. In fact, I think I've shown you where the Great Awakening is. Let me just close this down because I want to get on to your questions. Yeah. So let's just do the stop share there. Because, you know, you've seen that. You can see the alignments and you can see where I'm talking about these things. So this is happening in Elon Musk's 10th house. Yeah, 10th house. So I call it the glass house. Yeah, how are we doing? There we are, we're back now. I call it the glass house. It deals with the 10th house deals with career. It deals with public office, recognition, high office, and presidency. Elon has become the de facto prime minister / president. Now, I made these notes before it came out about the sun. Minister / president in front of our eyes with his son in the Oval Office. Yeah. And I put here using his son as a human shield so he doesn't get Luigi'd. Yeah. We're all seeing that. You see, he's always keeping. I mean, this is a 4-year-old in the Oval Office who has basically just walked up to the president and said, you're not the real president. Get out of here. My dad is the president. You need to imagine. What is wonderful with children is that they have no filter. And children tell the truth. Yeah. Or they just repeat what their parents say. Yeah. Or what they hear around them. So X said the quiet part out loud and has revealed the truth. Elon really is the president of the United States, but we've all been saying it, really, haven't we? One person used the analogy of Star Wars and said that it's like Trump is like the old emperor sending out Darth Vader. It's like that. Yeah. Anyway, so it also deals with disgrace. So he is disgracing America and disgracing himself. He's netted himself billions using this meme coin, but he is desecrating the reputation of America. But like I said, this is happening in Elon's 10th house. So I went back to Trump there. Sorry. Elon wants to be king in Elon's first house, which deals with the identity, the body. Yeah, the sun is there. I'll get the chart up, but I don't want to be flipping backwards and forwards, and it's a bit too choppy. The point is the sun deals with leaders, CEOs, kings and queens. So he really does see himself as the legitimate king of America, even though he's foreign, overstayed on his H-1B visa. So he's also illegal as well for a time. Remember, this came from the brother. He is not democratically elected, yet his son has revealed the truth. This is just astonishing, isn't it? Now let's talk about Algol. So I call it, it's a binary star. What's interesting is Algol is a binary star. So it means it's two stars orbiting each other. So it deals with two characters. Look, we've got two douchebags right now. Yeah. In America, Duck L'Orange and Muskie. So it's also known as the demon star, the star of betrayal. This is the star of betrayal. It's also associated with Medusa. So it deals with losing one's head, decapitations, assassinations, or going crazy. Isn't it obvious to all of us that this is craziness that we're seeing? Now, this star sits at 1 degree 10 minutes of sidereal Capricorn, where Uranus just was. When Uranus crossed the star the first time in the summer of 2024, that is when Biden had to step down. And of course, he felt betrayed, didn't he? But, you know, he had to step down. And Trump was almost assassinated. The bullet just, grazed his ear. Luckily for him, Jupiter is also in the sign of Taurus as well, and he's in Jupiter's dasher, so he got the protection from Jupiter. Yeah, that's why that man is still alive. Anyway, so it crossed over the first time, then it went stationary, and then it went retrograde. When it crossed for the second time, do you remember I said we've got to watch out for this election? It could be, the result could be what we do not expect. Everyone was, of course, expecting Kamala to win. Guess when Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, was right on that star on the 5th and 6th of November 2024, exactly on the elections. Look what happened. Now, Uranus is in at 29 degrees of sidereal Aries. So he's actually still very close to that star, yeah? Because he's at the end of Aries, right next to the beginning of Taurus, and that's where the energy is. So guess what? He's going back for a third time. On the 29th of March 2025, with awakening and stuff, Uranus also returns back to sidereal Taurus, and it's going to be very close to that star again at 0 degrees 27 minutes. But it will be exactly on that star in April. I think it's April 13th or 14th, which is, guess what? From what I understand, I've been told that tax return day in America is April 15th. Maybe people might decide not to pay their tax because it's obviously only going to be going to billionaires. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just see here. So it deals with decapitation, losing one's mind, going crazy, being addicted. Yeah. Uranus has activated all of this. Oh God, I've dazzled myself with my eyes looking into the screen. Uranus has been, well, going crazy and being addicted. Uranus has activated all of this by imbibing his energy of the revolution and rebellion and visions. So what we're seeing here is this dark vision playing out. We also see a dark technocratic coup is happening in front of our eyes. Trump and Elon have betrayed America by lying about prices and everything and stealing everyone's information. They've also just stolen some money as well from Florida no, not Florida, from New York. I put here, MAGA voters have been betrayed. MAGA voters have betrayed America itself by voting for charlatans that are hell-bent on destroying America, even when it was blatantly obvious, yeah, to those with a conscience. What Trump would do, that betrayal has crystallized on November 5th, yeah, when Uranus went retrograde over the star, like I was saying, Algol. However, so I'm saying here 70 million voters basically conspired with them. They're regretting it now because now they can see. And 36 million people allegedly stayed at home. Yeah, stayed at home in one of the most consequential and important elections to ever have happened in human history, truly. In a way, kind of betraying democracy itself. So here's the part, and then I'm going to move on to your questions. I'll have to go on a bit longer. But I'm saying there's danger here for leaders and CEOs, yeah? Because this is also happening with a solar eclipse, and solar eclipses deal with leaders. It can mean a leader might be eclipsed in some kind of way, yeah? So if I look here, because Uranus returns to Algol on March 29th, which is also the partial solar eclipse, Saturn moving into dissolving and spiritual, but yeah, which I talked about, dissolving Pisces. So Uranus is on Algol in Trump's 10th house. And the first time it went direct, he was almost assassinated. Then the retrograde, he got the election. Well, obviously with Elon's help, as his son knows. and we all know. And then the third time direct, he's likely to be in danger again as MAGA people awaken to the destruction and the betrayal Trump has brought them. So what is the Great Awakening, where people are going to realize how terrible of an idea all of this was and all of the stuff that he's cutting. Yeah. But I also put here, likely to be in danger again as MAGA people awaken to the destruction and betrayal of Trump has brought them. Or does he do something that on the world stage, and I put here like negotiating a ceasefire in Ukraine, and then the war ends, and then they will say he should have the Nobel Peace Prize. We could have something as crazy as that as well. I guarantee you. I guarantee you it could get that loopy-loo. Could get that loop. I'm not saying he's going to get it, but people might call for him to have it if the war is ended. Or even worse, he takes over Gaza and the Palestinians are betrayed by him and maybe even some of their neighbors. We'll have to see. I wish I could say what is exactly is going to happen, but I can't because Uranus is the most unpredictable planet. But what I can do is we can see what happened last time and put the bits of the puzzle together. Do you see what I'm talking about? Gosh, there's 887 of you, and I'll get onto questions soon. I just have to get this off my chest and get this part out because it's so important. So Uranus plus Algol is in Elon's 12th house when this happens, because he's a Gemini rising, which puts Taurus as the 12th house, and Uranus is going to be going through there for the next 7 years. Yeah. The 12th house deals with income, imports and exports. It does, indirect income from foreign lands. Elon has Saturn and Venus in his 12th house. Saturn is governments, Venus is wealth. We now know that the majority of Elon's wealth comes from his government contracts, yeah, which is what we've been talking about. Let me turn this light down a little bit. I'm literally blinding myself here. And he has deep connections with what? The Chinese government. Yeah, when you've got Saturn in the 12th house, it can mean connections with foreign governments, foreign lands. Guess what? Trump has Saturn with Venus in his 12th house too. And we all know how beholden he is to foreign governments. Elon has the same. Oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. Anyway, different signs, but same yoga. For Trump, it's Saturn and Venus and Pluto in the sign of Cancer. For Elon, it's Saturn and Venus in the sign of Taurus. And look, here's Elon's chart. And for him, it's Saturn, yeah, Saturn and Venus. And this here, where you see these squares, these are where Trump's chart planets overlay with Elon's. So you can see they're all in the same bloody houses. Ah. Stay calm. All right. Hope you're staying with me here. Right. So it deals with foreign money as well, hidden enemies as well. Anyway, so he has deep connections with the Chinese government, which we all know. They're all in his phone. And let's not forget, the Saudis also help provide a lot of funding for him to buy X in the or Twitter in the first place. Remember that one? As well as and now the banks are also starting to sell X's debt. So there's changes going on. Now, Bobby, is that, oh gosh, Bobby Kogan, geez, I scribbled this down. I think it's someone called Bobby Kogan announced that now the 12th house also deals with losses, yeah, can induce losses. So what is going on with Elon, because he's basically a de facto president, it means his chart also affects the chart of the USA. Now, 12th house also deals with hospitals, prisons, endings, yeah. Now, if we look here, now remember, Elon said he wanted to cut all of this government waste, but he is just, so he wants to, but what he's doing is he wants to cut 880 billion. It's just like, that's almost a trillion. Yeah, I just cannot believe it. Potentially from Medicaid. And 12th house also deals with what? Hospitals. it's like, what's going to happen to people's health? Yeah, it's going to be shot to bits. But at the same time, Snap will likely be cut too. But what Bobby Kogan, I think it's Kogan, forgive me if I'm getting that wrong because I wrote this down in a flash. But SpaceX is going to be getting an extra 230 million in government contracts. And he's just been awarded 400 million, allegedly, to create armored vehicles in Tesla. Like, what the, you know what? Armored vehicles. Why would he need armored vehicles? Because he knows what's going to happen. This is why he's wearing his sun like a human shield, because it's going to be, they know there's going to be mass uprising and they need to what? Suppress the people, keep them down. Yeah. They're trying to, you know, keep themselves in power. Anyway, Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, over Algol, not only shows the way Elon has betrayed government workers by wanting to replace them with AI. Remember, I was talking this, the Uranus and Rahu also deal with AI. Rahu is the north node of the moon. But this also speaks of his minions hacking and stealing the social security data of all Americans. Now, I think Jamie Raskin was talking about bringing a class action lawsuit on behalf of all America to Elon Musk. But this has to happen immediately. No delay can be afforded. You would have heard me say in the last show, I said America's got 2 weeks. It's only a week and a half now, or a week, if that. However, the 12th house is also prisons and hospitals and losses, you know, which obviously I was talking about. And here I put in Jamie Raskin, so I was getting ahead of myself in my notes because he stole the data. So how could losses also be happening from Elon at the same time he's stealing from the public purse? Tesla sales are plummeting. Yeah, Tesla sales are plummeting and crashing around the world. How long is it before this starts to seriously damage the Tesla stock price, which is a big part of Elon's wealth? So you see, the 12th house is giving him this income by shady means, but he's also getting losses as well because his reputation around the world is tanking. Will Elon betray Tesla and sacrifice it for SpaceX? That's the question I put there. Well, I mean, it looks like Tesla is going to be making armored vehicles now. So this is probably why he's not been developing the car products. Yeah, doesn't need to. And that ugly thing that looks like a tank, I've always felt it looks like a tank. He's probably going to have machine guns put on the bloody top of it. I mean, it's, let me hold my position. Okay. Will Uranus in Elon's 12th house bring ruin, or will it bring him outer space and Mars? That's what I've asked. And I put here, measles and TB are also breaking out in America as well, which is also what? 12th house issues. What's this? Oh, Canada is doing its, wow, I really wrote that mad. Canada is continuing its boycott. Yeah, they're canceling their holidays, not buying American. And the tour, what's it called? What are they called? The okay, so warns the economic tourism disaster as thousands of Americans, Canadians cancel their trips in protest. And one, that's it, the US Travel Association, I couldn't read my own handwriting. And some estate agents are not allowing trips to be booked to America at all. So America's going to lose billions, or ordinary people are going to lose billions, yet Elon is getting all of these government contracts. Literally, so what I think they're doing is they just want to disenfranchise everyone. They're just raiding the money. And they're going to basically try and cut everyone's Medicaid, basically. And so whatever losses that they incur through lack of economic stuff, they're like, well, we're saving all this money and just enrich it. Honestly, watch the Dark Crystal. It's the Skeksis. They are the Skeksis, right? Deep breaths. One of the things that I have seen, and I've held back on this for a long time, but I think I have to say it now. I wrote a blog years ago. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. And I need to go back and check that blog. But I foresaw that America will potentially break up into different states. I saw that the Massachusetts, New York, and all of that became its own federation. I foresaw that Texas, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas became almost like a new Confederate state again. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw that the Midwest, so like Oklahoma, Montana, all of that Midwest, that became its own conglomerate as well. So that's three. Then I saw that Oregon and California became their own thing, but Oregon part of Oregon split off and joined the Midwest. That's what I saw. And apparently that's a little bit of that is happening. And then what I also saw was that Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico also formed their own thing. And they had sort of negotiations with California and with the Midwest. This is something that I've seen years ago, and I've not spoken about it. I've kept quiet about it for years. But apparently other psychics and astrologers are seeing this as well. And one of my clients today, Rosa, was telling me about certain spiritual, I won't give the details, where spirit came in a special ceremony that she was involved with and told her the same. And I've not wanted to say that. I've not wanted to say that because I don't want to spook people. It's a very dramatic thing to say. I've told it to my friends in private, but now I have to. Because look what's happening. The DOJ is filing a lawsuit against New York. This is madness. Madness. Anyway, deep breaths, deep breaths. Let me just get through some of your questions. Yeah. So much here. I hope you're enjoying the show. I know I've been going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I know that I've said so much. Let me just do some thank yous first. My God, it's intense, isn't it? Even though I saw this stuff and I was saying, as you know, for ages, this is what this stuff means. It's still a shock. Honest to God, guys, it's still a shock. It's still, I have a feet across, it's a cross between anger and sorrow. Anger and sorrow. Part of me is infuriated that this has been allowed to happen. But then a part of me is just feels sad because, you know, I've been anticipating this for a long time, hoping that it wouldn't come true, but it is. Yeah. So thank you, Blue Manana. You've just become a member. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you, Oggy. Foggy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Phil, for your kind donation. Thank you so much, Yahira, for your kind donation. And thank you, Harriet, as well, for your kind donation. Much appreciated. Thanks so much for supporting my channel, guys. There's 992 of you here right now. So please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into some of your questions. I'll do this for the next 15 minutes. Question number one. Did I even write down number one? Oh, here he is. Okay, Nick Minks. Looks like Ukraine will be forced to hand over land. The new head of the US defense visited NATO and pretty much said as much. What do the cards show? And then to add in, she also said, is Algol bringing out the demons, or is it taking them out and removing threats to humanity? Feel like today that the world lurched further to the dark right. How does this improve the world when it all seems to be wrong? So what I would say is on that, what we're having, what Pluto shows, like the buck stops with Pluto. So I call him the alpha omega planet. He will always show what is going on in the collective or unconscious. He will always show where the power moves are, where the corruption is, and the sign that he's in will show that area of life. When Saturn was in, when Pluto was in sidereal Sagittarius, we had what? The war on terror. We had the beheadings, jihad. Sagittarius is the sign of what? Religion. but also fanaticism. And we were having the scandals of the Catholic Church. Do you remember that? Now, of course, since January 1st, 2021, Pluto's been in sidereal Capricorn, and we've had everything to do with what? Government, the capital, insurrection. Now this is insurrection part 2. But it's a non-violent coup. It's being done electronically with Elon, yeah? But his son has revealed the truth. Oh my God. Anyway, let me just do here. Thank you so much, Lucky McLucky. She says, thanks for shaking us all today. I mean, I know but I had to keep saying they're trapped. Roxy's Kitchen said they are trapped in an emotional bubble. In order to keep it going for the adrenaline rush, they must stay angry, and that bubble must be fed. Well, yes, you're absolutely right. But that bubble is going to burst. And it's going to be burst by Saturn, the planet of reality. And it's going to be burst by sorrow and regret, which is already starting to happen, but it's going to happen en masse. To say something positive, Neptune, the last time Neptune was in sidereal Pisces was about 164 years ago. That's how long it takes to go around the sun. Yeah, 164 years ago. 164 years ago, we had the Fox sisters, we had Madame Blavatsky, we had the spiritualist movement. Spirituality erupted across the world, and it will erupt out again. Yeah, you see, not just me, many people. Yeah, many people doing this spiritual work. And I think on the Hogely on the Saturday, I'm going to have to come up with some kind of collective prayer. Yeah, for the light, and all of us to pray together for the best outcome possible for America in these trying times. So Ukraine, forced to hand over land. What do the cards show? What do the cards show for Ukraine? I don't want to preempt, but they are feeling what? The betrayal, yeah? Algol by the US government, which of course has sided with Russia, which we all knew it would do. So many, I had to get all of that off my chest. Let's read this and then I'll read a couple more. Aha, all right. Here we see the Page of Swords. Pages always deal with messages, yeah, messages. But swords are sharp, so this could be quite a sharp message, yeah, sharp message to Ukraine. Who's the obstacle, or who's calling the shots? Look, oligarchy. This can talk about Donald Trump. This can also talk about Putin, yeah? If we look here, they're just going to have to hold on to what they can hold on. 4 of Pentacles, yeah? But they might have to give up. They're probably going to have to give up land. They're talking about going back to 2014 kind of lines, yeah? So this is Ukraine just trying to hold on to as much as it can. If we look here, we got the Justice card. So it means it's going to be a legal, you know, it's going to be some kind of legally binding thing. Maybe Zelensky might try and challenge this in the international courts. Yeah, maybe something like that. But it's going to be some kind of legal thing. And do you remember I said, look, I said the war in Ukraine will end, but it's going to end with an agreement. Yeah, there's going to be some kind of agreement. I also remember saying that Poland will be significant in the negotiation as well. Yeah, but obviously America is just handing over, what have you. And then look, this is the outcome for Ukraine. So they're feeling what? Trapped, hostages to fortune. Yeah, that energy of Algol is showing up in the betrayal for them. Yeah, where they feel betrayed, you know, by America, maybe by the world at large. But this is how they're going to feel, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could be more optimistic on that, but you know, let's see. And so I did that. There was that talking about nasty people coming out the woodwork, but a lot of that is to do with Pluto. Right, Denise Ferguson, the New York State comm controller reported that the Department of Homeland Security, isn't that interesting? Yeah, because I was saying the Great Awakening is happening where? In the homeland. security. So literally here, the New York State.com state controller reported the Department of Homeland Security has illegally went into a New York State bank and removed 80 million in allocated FEMA funds. You can't make this stuff up. Department head Chrissy Noem said that she's justified because the money would have gone to illegals. What do you see happening with this, and will they target blue states? My goodness. So I'll read on this. I've reached the hour and I don't want to go on too long. Let's just see this. And then I'll have to pick up in either another video or swap some of these questions over to Hogelish. Let's see here. What's the energy? What's the energy? Will they target blue states? Can you believe this stuff? Oh, I've also put a link to the video where someone called Keith Andrews, I think it is, has shown, amongst others, the video of X basically telling Trump to move out. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is not. Wow. All right. What do I see happening, and will they target blue states? Yeah, with what I've read out previously. Here we have the Hierophant, which deals with what? The government. It also deals with dogma. Yeah, the shadow, because I'm reading this in the shadow interpretation. This can talk about domineering patriarchy, dogma, religious, zealous stuff. This will also be Project 2025, who is orchestrating all of this. Someone has got this channel which is called Ask AI, and he asks AI about what the agenda is and how closely Trump is following all of this stuff. And it said it's 80 to 90%. So this is also talking about dogma, religious fanaticism, and of course, the vehicle, the mechanisms of the government itself. Yeah. Look what shows up in the obstacle position. The Fool card. So they're literally being what? Foolish. Crazy. And there's over 1,000 of you that have joined me right now. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. So we can see this is folly. This is madness. This is the DOJ jumping off the cliff. Yeah. Here we can see no one's really liking the options on the table. What is the best way to respond? What some people, what Rosa, my client, was saying is that some of the states may actually stop paying into FEMA altogether, because they're going to be like, well, if you're just going to be taking the money and giving it to billionaires, maybe we shouldn't pay into FEMA at all, and maybe we should keep the money for ourselves. And everyone knows the red states need that FEMA money the most, because they're having the most disasters. Also, as well, Trump has cut a lot of that funding and all of the US aid, where a lot of that goes to American farmers and their produce and stuff like that as well. So they are being screwed in the absolute you-know-what with a cactus. Yeah, with a cactus. Here, look, we've got the Moon card. We never want to see this card coming out here on readings, but when I was doing some readings for clients today, yeah, when the Moon comes out, what is this? You see here, you see the domesticated dog and you see the wolf. This card really talks about the tug of war in the hearts of men. Yeah, not just for man. Yeah, man and woman. Yeah. What we're seeing here is that the secret agendas are starting to come out. Well, they really weren't that secret, but for people that weren't paying attention, now the agendas are beginning to be exposed, because the lobster is coming out, which is talking about the deep subconscious, yeah, the dark ick that's there. The challenge with this card is to walk between the pillars of truth, but can the person domesticate themselves? Can they calm themselves, or will they give in to their bestial instincts? We are seeing the bestial instincts at display. The wolf, yeah, the predator. And then look at this, the Tower as the outcome card. Oh God, guys, I wish these cards could be better for you, but as you know, I have to say what I see. So these plans will be disastrous. And of course, yes, they are going to go for other blue states as well. They're going to be using this tool wherever anyone doesn't comply. And of course, the blue states are most likely to do this. However, the blue states will fight back. Yeah, the blue states are going to fight back. They're going to challenge the government with their own authority. Yeah, challenge them on their foolishness. But no one's going to be liking the options. Yeah. But you're going to have to think left field. This is a crazy time. This is a time of lunacy. Lunatics are running the asylum, and it is leading to what? Chaos, disaster. So, oh, I wish I could be a bit more positive on that. But guys, like I said, we are in historic times. This is just absolute bonkers. Let me just do a quick thank you here as well. No Name says, yes, Hogarth, love the idea of praying blind. Yeah, binding the minds and like energy. Yes, I think I'm going to have to do it the 29th, when this alignment, 29th of March, becomes exact, is on a Saturday when I checked. So it is on that Hogarth. So I don't know where I'm going to find it from, but I'm going to have to find some kind of a prayer, some kind of collective where we try and call in all of the forces of light to counter this darkness. I already hope that people who are realizing their mistake realize it even more and truly, truly repent, because this is disaster. I knew this stuff would happen, but not this quickly. I thought this might happen 6 months from now. We're not even a month in. It's only 3 weeks. So yes, do your spiritual warrior work. Call in the angels, call in the entities, anyone that is going to help. All of you are needed. Anyone who's watching this all around the world, because I know people from all around the world watch this, send as much healing light and power as you can to the good people of America to try and quell this wickedness and evil that is going on. And we will have to see how this develops. But I have foreseen that, yes, the United States will potentially break up. And there's just with what we're seeing now, how I think it will come to pass. And there are other people who apparently have seen this, but I wrote a blog about this years ago. I do not want it to come true. But if the DOJ is going to start attacking individual states, what choice will the states have? They will have to retaliate and they will have to fight back. So, you know what? The blue states, you never know, may end up coming out much stronger out of this, ironically. Yeah, we shall have to see, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for being in the chat. I would love to have read more of you out, but I just had to get all of that off my chest. Of course, I will see you guys on Hogalish, yeah, on Saturday. I know that was a lot of information, but I had to get a lot out there. Thank you, everyone, for your donations, for the likes and subscribes. Over 1,000 of you joined me this evening. Mwah! Big love. Keep up that fight. Keep the pressure. Join rallies. Fight back. Maybe, again, for entertainment purposes only, maybe you don't pay your tax this year. Yeah? Maybe you don't pay your tax this year because it's already been given to billionaires, and I've already seen the details of that, but too long to go into. So hold the light, everyone, and fight. Yeah? All right. Time for me to go. Mwah.